Hello guys, hopefully everyone is fine. In this video, we are going to discuss the concept of virtual destructor. So as you can see in this particular program, we have made a base class. Let me just delete this virtual keyword. I will come to it accordingly. So we have this is a base class, and I'm writing base and anything in base, and I'm writing creating a base class destructor. I'm writing anything in this. I have created a derived class which is inheriting from base class publicly. We have got a derived class, and we have got the derived class destructor. Now what happens in this particular scenario? What we are doing is that in this particular scenario, the moment we create a derived class object, let's say I'm writing derived obj. So in that scenario, how the calling works, in this way is that firstly base class constructor gets called, then derived class constructor gets called, then derived class destructor gets called, and then base class destructor gets called. So that is an order of inheritance which we have discussed in previous videos as well. So that's how it works out. Firstly base class constructor, then derived class constructor, derived class destructor, and base class destructor. So over here this was static memory allocation, but when we are allocating the memory dynamically, and how it works out, firstly how we will create a dynamic memory allocation. We have derived class pointer, let's say it points to new derived, and derived class pointer gets word. The moment we create base class pointer, we have got base p is equal to new. Over here I'm going to assign base pointer as derived class object. It means derived class pointer is pointing to its own object, and base class pointer also points to where derived class pointer is pointing. And the moment we write delete p, so it means delete, the moment we write delete p1, in that scenario what happens is that I will be I'm deleting the base class object, and which is pointing to derived class uh, variable also. So I'm writing delete p1. So ideally this order should work. Base class constructor should get called, derived class constructor should get called, derived class destructor should get called, and base class destructor should get called. But in this it doesn't work like that. This never works out. So ideally we always get the answer of these answers, that is base class base constructor, derived constructor, as well as base destructor. Derived destructor should doesn't get called. So that's how this actually entire thing works out. So the moment this is a scenario of you know calling of uh, base class, calling of or creating a base class pointer which is pointing to derived class object. So to solve this scenario, we make the base class destructor as virtual. In that it will ensure that dynamic memory allocation works, or dynamic binding works. So in this scenario it will basically solve the entire solution, where we whatever four scenarios we had, they will get called. Base class constructor will get called, then derived class constructor, derived class destructor, followed by base class destructor. You can see over here. Even I have run this program over here, and you can see in this particular scenario we have firstly created a derived class object. Then base class derived class object is created using pointer d, and base class object is created over here. Base class pointer is assigned derived class pointer. It means base class pointer will point where derived class pointer gets it's pointing. And I'm writing delete b. Now the moment we run this particular line without using a virtual keyword, you have seen base. Over here we have base class constructor as well as base class destructor. We have derived class constructor followed by derived class destructor. The moment we write this line without virtual keyword, you can see in this what we will get. We will get the constructor of base class followed by constructor of derived class followed by destructor of base class. So to avoid this kind of a scenario, we are using the concept of virtual keyword, where we will make the virtual destructor of base class as virtual, and the moment we write this particular keyword, and you can see derived class destructor also gets called, that is between constructor of derived and destructor of base over here. So this is how this entire thing works out. So what is the use of derived class or this virtual destructor? It is firstly used to free the memory space which is allocated for derived class object. When the pointer of base class points to the derived class object and it gets deleted, only base class destructor gets called. So to call the derived class destructor, we have to make a virtual keyword on base class destructor. So that ensures everything works fine. That ensures dynamic binding also. It is working in a similar way virtual function works. That's how the whole scenario works. If you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe. If you have any doubt, kindly post it in comment section so that I can answer. Thank you very much for your support.